Mixon out of the backfield. Has some daylight. Hurdles to the end zone. In for the score, and he took a lick from Miles Jack, but he hung on.
Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I am your host, Ace Boogie, and we have more unfortunate news from Joe Burrow. Obviously, the tweet just came out via Ian Rappaport that Joe Burrow has torn his MCL, ACL, and also has additional structural issues in his knee as well. This is a complete disaster. Who knows where this is going next? This is horrible news. More damage than we anticipated, essentially, is what he's looking at right now. And just when you thought that it couldn't get worse, the news is even worse. And, obviously, I said my piece last night. This team did not put him in a position to prevent something like this from happening. I mean, nobody wanted this to happen to the kid. This is completely and utterly embarrassing, ridiculous, and you have to feel for Joe Burrow. To have an injury like that, his rookie season, is ridiculous. And, to hear some of the things that were said by this team, still holding up Zach Taylor, primarily holding up the offensive line, saying this and that, it is just ridiculous. So one thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to look up Pro Football Doc. He's a guy that I trust when it comes to that. He hasn't apparently seen the news so far, but this is what he's going to say. It looks like he actually knew yesterday that it looked like Joe tore his ACL and MCL. So he already knew that based on yesterday. It seems that, so he will need surgery and has a chance to be ready for week 1 in 2021. This is why Tom Brady still wears a brace on his lead leg. This is why the league outlawed hits to the quarterback below the waist. This is eerily similar to Carson Palmer's knee injury on the second play of the 2006 wild card playoff game. So obviously that was his assessment earlier on. I'm looking to see if Dr. David Chow has posted anything else. He's always on point with his stuff. But, yeah, man. I mean, this team, it didn't take them long to do what people were saying that they were going to do, which is ruin this kid's career. Obviously, his career is far from over. This isn't a great start to it. This doesn't give us any kind of vote of confidence that they know what they're doing with this guy. And it's just upsetting. It's upsetting. It's frustrating. It's sad. There's a whole bunch of things that I could say at this point. And when we looked at situations this year, just in general, when he would get hit, I was upset that they would even put him in those positions there, let alone in this position right here. So it's a tough one. Is this career ending? I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you. I don't think that it is. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'll be giving you guys updates, obviously, throughout this process, and we'll see where this goes from there. But it's just a horrible position to be in. You have to get an offensive line around this guy. And I'm hearing people make excuses and stuff like that for the offensive line. There are no excuses for what has happened. There's no excuses for it whatsoever. If they wanted the offensive line, they could have done it. There were a whole bunch of things that they could have addressed towards this offensive line, and they chose not to. So for this to happen, it honestly sucks. For me, I'm not rushing him back at all. I think that you have to – I don't know what this means. This is going to go into year 2 of his career. That means that obviously players that are on the team right now that may be in contract situations, they don't know what is going to happen next season. I think that this definitely decreases the chances that AJ Green will want to stick around. There's so much uncertainty. Like, this could be a very bad situation because we don't know what the other structural issues are. It could be a situation where he's completely sitting out next season as well. So for me, heads have to roll, whether that's Duke Tobin, whether that's Zach Taylor, this staff. It has to happen. It has to happen. And I said that yesterday. And I'm frustrated because it was pretty obvious that we would be on the track for something like this to happen. Doesn't take a rocket scientist, like I said last night. Doesn't take someone to be all-knowing or anything. If you're waiting for this guy to get hit 70 times, Deshaun Watson, a guy that was in a similar situation, getting hit all the time, eventually you're going to get hurt. Your quarterback shouldn't be taking hits like that. This is the other thing. A lot of people just talk about sacks, right? Joe Burrow, if you take the sacks plus the quarterback hits, he got hit 70 times this season. He was like, it was nowhere. No one in the league has been hit as many times as he has. And so for this to happen as a fallout, it just, I don't know. I'm just upset. I'm upset for him. I'm upset that he was put in this situation. I'm upset that we're back in a situation where Carson Palmer, 2005, 2006, we all know he was never the same quarterback after that. I don't wish that on Joe. I think that obviously surgeries and things have changed greatly from 2005 until now. But the fact that they even put him in a position to have to come back from an injury like that, it's tough. It's tough. So for me, obviously, you guys can see I'm frustrated. It's a tough situation for us to be in, but somebody has to pay for this. And I don't know if it needs to be that the front office needs to address the fans. I don't know if that's going to happen, but something needs to be addressed. We need to talk about this. Something needs to happen. And for me, I'm just fed up with the staff. I'm fed up with the front office in terms of them doing this and putting this kid in a situation like this where the chances of something like this happening were high. So it's just tough, man. It's just tough because when I looked at the end of the schedule and the defensive lines that we were going against, knowing that our offensive line was not good, these games scared me. I would have never in a million years, though, thought that what happened yesterday would have happened. And so with that being said, we got to pick up the pieces. Right now, honestly, the Bengals need that number 3 pick, number 2 pick, whatever it is, they need Penny. They need Penny. And they need to do more than just get Penny. Like, you can't have backup offensive linemen and starters. You can't do it. There's a lot of people that say they go out here and get this guy and that guy. If you look across the league, those guys do not match up to anybody across the league like that. Like, you can't have guys that are backups as starters. And what that means going forward, that means that you have to get an offensive line to protect this guy. You have to. You have to. Joe Burrow is the franchise. He controls how many wins we have, what happens, and you gotta get that insurance on him. And unfortunately, the Bengals did not do that. They did not give him a running game to help him at all. They did not give him an offensive line that would help him at all. They just didn't do this kid any favors, and you can see how bad it is. And to hear it from all around the other media members, I'm glad that they're saying the same thing that we're saying because it was obvious. It was obvious. A lot of people tried to act like, it was the elephant in the room. The offensive line isn't that good. He's getting hit so many times. It was obvious, man. It was obvious that this stuff was going to happen. So, fortunately, he's going to have to undergo reconstructive surgery on his left knee. Wow. It's just the worst of the worst. I mean, I think that's what we pretty much saw when we saw him go down and how scary that hit was. So we'll have to see where they go from here. But if you are joining, this is New Stripe City. It's a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I am Ace Boogie. I'm here breaking the news and shooting a prayer up for Joe Burrow. Hopefully, it's just tough, man, because you got to feel for Joe. I'm just upset that this dysfunction, the way that they run this team dysfunctionally has even reached Joe Burrow. And it's just, when you see guys get traded in the offseason, like Trent Williams for a bag of chips, and the Bengals didn't do anything like that, it just really makes you wonder how much that they really wanted to protect him. And it was just too much weight that they put on that guy. And you guys have been watching my channel. This isn't new what I've been saying. They are asking him to do way too much. They're asking him to compensate for coaching, for a front office, literally for everything. And he can't do that. He can't do that. This is a kid coming off of a season from LSU. I said that. This wasn't something new that I said. He already had the wear and tear on him from a college season. He's jumping into the NFL season, literally doesn't even have time to rest. So his body has already been banged up from college. And then you're getting him here and he's getting even more hits. So you take that 71 and add it to however many hits he sustained in college. Well, obviously it wasn't as much as in the pros, but you see what I'm saying. This front office, I don't know. I don't know how you expected Joe Burrow to just win and do everything for this team, given the circumstances that we have. So we'll see. Prayers up for Joe, man. Prayers up for Joe. Obviously, there's some donations going for his hunger program. If you are a Bengals fan, if you are looking to donate to his cause, please be sure to do that. There's a lot of families right now that need a good meal, especially during the holidays with Thanksgiving around the corner. So if you do get a chance, I'll try to find the link or something and post it in the description. Let's do something to make some positive out of this, man. It's tough. It's tough. So we'll see. I'm still reading through some of the comments here. I'm going to see if there's anything from Dr. Chow yet on this situation in terms of how he feels about it. Obviously, it's the number one kind of thing here. I'm looking. Don't see anything from him. So as soon as he provides that update, I will provide you guys that update. But I think like someone is saying in the chat, this really hurts. It feels bad. Man, don't know what to say, guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Please keep Joe Burrow in your thoughts for sure. So hopefully we get this kid some protection. Hopefully the surgery goes well. I would hope that they go and get Dr. Andrews or whoever the best surgeon is for the job. I would hope that they would do that. But a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just a regular football play. Let's just be real, guys. Like if you're behind an inadequate offensive line and you're getting hit that many times, eventually this was going to happen. Eventually it was going to happen. Now, no one's saying that they knew he was going to have a knee injury, but I mean, just look at the game last week. He was hurt in the game last week too. That's what a lot of people aren't talking about. The ankle injury when he started limping and stuff like that. Like he was taking too much of a beating, and you can't have the future of your franchise getting hit like that. Just point blank, period. There's just no reason for it. There's no excuse for it. And when you have that happening, things like this happen. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday. And prayers up for Joe Burrow. Hopefully he can come back, and heads have to roll. Heads have to roll. We're not putting up with this.
He gave his rookie-laden Bengals a high mark as they passed from the kindergarten of preseason to the first grade of regular league play.
Cincinnati's best came in the first quarter, the first time they had the ball. Quarterback Dewey Warren and fullback Tom Smiley combined for Cincinnati's first pass completion.
Bengal founder Paul Brown fashioned this novel design. As new to the game today as the forward pass was a century ago.
Montana dragged down at the 31-yard line.
In 1996, the Bengals finished strong and finished right.
Touchdown! Yes!
Tell you what, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. We got to bow to Corey Dillon.
Bulldog from the 32 with Mixon in the backfield. It's Dalton out to Mixon. He's got some room.
It's Mixon diving up and over.
We're gonna hammer home competition, preparation, and diligence in everything we do.
It's a new year. Same old question. How do you stop 85?
They're looking down the field for the